This fall, witness the most colorful and beautiful foliage as you take a drive through New England. If you're looking for a beautiful and breathtaking road trip adventure, look no further than New England. In this video, I'll take you on a virtual tour through the following towns and cities. Our journey begins in the heart of New England, Boston, Massachusetts. The capital is not just historically rich, but also offers a vibrant urban atmosphere. Take a stroll through the city's neighborhood Back Bay, famous for its rows of Victorian brownstone homes and highly sought luxury real estate. You'll get a sense of appreciation for some of America's oldest architecture. The area was once a bay, west of the Shawmut Peninsula, and was eventually filled in to reclaim city land beginning in 1857. The present-day Back Bay neighborhood was filled in by 1882. One of the nation's oldest municipalities, Boston, was founded in 1630 by Puritan settlers from Boston, Lincolnshire in England, and during the American Revolution, it served as a hub for many key events. Examples include the Boston Massacre, the Boston Tea Party, the Battle of Bunker Hill, and the Siege of Boston. Our first stop, just a short drive north, is Salem, Massachusetts. You've heard of the famous Salem Witch Trials. This enchanting town comes alive during the fall season. With beautiful tree canopies bursting with bright red, yellow, and orange colors, you'll be tempted to snap a pic at every turn. Salem's historical witch trials took place between February 1692 and May 1693. These trials were a series of hearings and prosecutions of more than 200 people that were accused of witchcraft. 30 were found guilty, 19 were executed by hanging, that's 14 women and 5 men. Another 5 people died in confinement, and 1 man was tortured to death for refusing to make a plea. The motivation for these trials were politically and religiously based in fear and ignorance, yet this mass hysteria was nothing new. Tens of thousands of so-called witches were executed throughout Europe during the early modern period between 1400 and 1782. Today's Salem features witch-themed shops, historic houses, and spooky decorations scattered about. Be sure to visit the Roger Williams House, also known as the Witch House. It was the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin and is the only structure in Salem today that has direct ties to the Salem Witch Trials. Go visit the museum, House of the Seven Gables, a 1668 colonial mansion named for its gables. The house was made famous by Nathaniel Hawthorne's 1851 novel, House of the Seven Gables. And don't miss getting a tour of Pioneer Village, where you'll be able to immerse yourself in a living history museum recreating Salem's settlement and pioneer life as it was in the 17th century. Next, we're heading into the White Mountains of New Hampshire. The foliage here is jaw-dropping, especially around the Kancamagus Highway. Part of the Appalachian Mountains, the White Mountains are a range covering 1/4 of New Hampshire and a little bit of western Maine. There are a number of state parks you can visit, as well as the famous federally managed White Mountain National Forest that includes most of the mountain range and covering 800,000 acres or 3,200 square kilometers. Its most famous mountain is Mount Washington at 6,288 feet above sea level or 1,917 meters. Visit the Arthusa Falls, the second tallest waterfall in New Hampshire, or go hiking in Polar Caves Park, where you might even see snow at some of the lowest depths. The caves were carved by large granite boulders during the last ice age. Now let's cross over to Vermont and visit the charming town of Stowe. It's the perfect place to sip on apple cider and take a scenic drive. Nicknamed the ski capital of the East, Stowe is home to Stowe Mountain Resort for some excellent skiing. If you're a hiker itching to get some beautiful photos of changing colors, be sure to walk the Stowe Recreation Path that runs 5.3 miles or 8.5 kilometers. The path stretches from the village downtown all the way to Top Notch Lodge. Vermont is the US's second least populated state, and there are plenty of winding roads and beautiful rolling hills to explore. Don't forget to pull over and breathe in that fresh Vermont air along your drive. Heading east, we reach the rugged coast of Maine. The coastline here is simply breathtaking, and Acadia National Park is a must-visit. Maine is the easternmost state in New England and of the United States. If you're a seafood foodie, you'll love exploring the many fresh seafood places along the coast. Acadia National Park is absolutely breathtaking. Hike up the park's Cadillac Mountain, the tallest mountain on the US Atlantic coast. You'll find exposed granite domes, U-shaped valleys, stunning cobble beaches, and large glacial boulder deposits. While personal vehicles aren't allowed in the national park itself, you can sign up for a car or bus tour along the park's 27-mile paved loop road. More rugged outdoorsy activities that you can do include hiking, bicycling, fishing, rock climbing, kayaking, and canoeing. You can also swim at Sand Beach and Echo Lake if you don't mind the cooler temperatures. Ranger-led programs also introduce visitors to the park's diverse ecosystem. Options include shorter walks, longer hikes, boat cruises along the coast, and many more. Our journey now takes us to Connecticut's mystic Seaport, where history and maritime charm collide. Explore Connecticut's largest maritime museum, notable for its sailing, ship, and boat collection. Here, you'll find more than 60 historic buildings that have been meticulously restored. You can see how people lived at the Seaport Village during the 19th century. Connecticut played a major role in the American Revolutionary War. The state designated 4 delegates to the Second Continental Congress who signed the Declaration of Independence: Samuel Huntington, Roger Sherman, William Williams, and Oliver Wolcott. The state maintained some 1,200 troops on hand at the Battle of Bunker Hill in June 1775. Connecticut was also the launching site for a number of raids against Long Island. Notable orchestrators for these raids include Samuel Holden Parsons and Benjamin Talmadge. Rhode Island's Newport is next on our travel list. Its mansions and coastal scenery are a visual treat you won't forget. A seaside city that will take your breath away, it served as the most important port in colonial Rhode Island. Newport was another important location during the American Revolution. William Ellery, a Newporter, was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. There are plenty of important American Revolutionary events that occurred here, but I'll leave that up to you to explore. For now, let's go visit the summer mansions. These mansions were places of refuge from the southern heat for wealthy southern planters beginning in the mid-19th century. They were built as summer cottages. One example is King's Cote, a Gothic revival mansion and today a house museum at Bowery Street and Bellevue Avenue. It was built in 1839 and was one of the first summer cottages built. As time went on, the area became increasingly affluent, with rich families building larger and larger mansion getaways. Many of the nation's wealthiest families were vacationing during the summer months in Newport. Notable families include the Vanderbilts, Astors, and the Widener family. A top place to explore Newport is the Cliff Walk. Publicly accessible, it stretches a full 3.5 miles or 5.6 kilometers. It starts from the east end of Bailey's Beach and extends to the western end of First Beach. Finally, we return to Massachusetts and explore the serene beauty of Cape Cod. This place offers idyllic beaches and quintessential New England charm. A hook-shaped peninsula that extends into the Atlantic Ocean, you'll feel like you've driven far off the US mainland into a welcoming little paradise. The Cape is divided into 15 towns extending from Bourne in the Upper Cape to Provincetown in the Outer Cape. Drive all the way to the Outer Cape and you can explore the Cape Cod National Seashore, a national park with popular beaches including Nauset Light Beach, Coast Guard Beach, and Race Point Beach. Provincetown, the furthest town in the Outer Cape, is known for its LGBT atmosphere. The town has served as a popular gay and lesbian resort destination since the 1970s and has grown in popularity ever since. Prior to then, as far back as the 1890s, Provincetown was a booming mecca for writers and artists as well as a summer tourist industry. The town eventually earned an international reputation for its artistic and literary productions. By 1898, Charles Webster Hawthorne opened the Cape Cod School of Art. Take a stroll along Commercial Street and visit the many art galleries, cafes, and restaurants. The pace of life here is very relaxed and enjoyable. And there you have it, folks, our epic road trip through New England during the mesmerizing autumn season. We've witnessed the transformation of landscapes, savored local flavors, and uncovered the rich history in the region. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing videos all about travel, and let me know in the comments which destination you'd like me to talk about next. Thanks for joining, and until next time, keep exploring.